Hi, I'm Bo Blackwell.
And I'm Molly Lane, and in this episode of Marketing in 5, we're going to talk about 5 SEO basics that every site should have. Now, if you have a business with an online presence, you know that ranking well in search engines can get you a lot of visitors to your site and a lot of potential customers. Now, the thing about SEO is that for a lot of people, it's kind of dark art and it's mysterious and confusing.
But we're here to tell you that even if you don't want to do SEO as a full-time job, and trust me, you don't, I've done it, there are some really basic, simple things you can do to make your site SEO friendly and make sure that their search engines are going to rank you as well as possible. So the first SEO basic that every website should have is a good keyword-rich page title for every page on their website. Now, if you've studied SEO at all, you may have heard of these things called meta tags, which are things like the title of your page, a description of the page, and keywords about the page. Back in the old days of search engines, and I mean really old days, they actually used those meta tags to decide what the pages were about and to rank them accordingly. But unfortunately, a lot of people started abusing them to deliberately try to rank well in the search engines, so they quickly realized that they're not very reliable. So when you're creating meta tags for your site, the only one that you need to worry about from an SEO standpoint, and the one that you should actually put effort into because the search engines do still pay attention to it, is the title of the page. Now, one mistake I see a lot of people making is having the same page title for every page on their website, no matter what it's about. And usually it's, the name of the website or the company name. But instead, what you need to do is make sure that you put a title that has the keywords that you want to rank for at the beginning of your page title, and then have your site name at the end. That's going to look a lot better to the search engines, do a much better job of telling them what the page is about. I'll give you a little bonus as well. Even though it doesn't matter from an SEO standpoint, you should still write a good meta description for each page, because that's what gets shown to searchers when your website comes up in the search engine rankings. And if you write a good one and make it really interesting and compelling, it's going to make it a lot more likely that people are going to click on it.
Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do to make your site more SEO friendly is make sure that you're targeting your keywords in your URL, so that your keywords that you want to target for SEO are included in that URL. So, for example, some platforms like WordPress are going to give you a jumbled kind of URL, and that's automatically what they spit out. But what you're going to have to do is go in and change that to make it more SEO friendly. So change that to really target the keywords that you're looking for, and search engines will love that. So for example, Marketing in 5. So marketingin5.com/SEO tips, for example, would be something that would be more search engine friendly. On the other hand, just kind of a URL that's just automatically generated and just kind of spit out for you is not going to make sense to the search engines. It can be jumbled in characters that they don't make sense to the search engines and actually don't make sense to the users either.
And as far as changing your WordPress URL structure, we'll include in the description of this video, as well as the page that the video is on, what you should change that to make sure that the search engines like it. Now, the third SEO basic that every site should have is a sitemap. Basically, a sitemap is designed to tell the search engines about every page on your website, because when search engines send spiders out to crawl your website, not real spiders obviously, but they're crawling around your site and they're looking for pages to get information on. But sometimes, depending on the way your website is set up, they can get lost. They might kind of take a wrong turn and leave your site and not find all of the pages. And that's a really bad thing from an SEO standpoint. So by creating a sitemap, it tells the search engine every page on your website, and you can even exclude ones that you don't want the search engine to see for whatever reason. If you're using WordPress, which we highly, highly recommend from an SEO standpoint, there's a free plugin you can get called XML Sitemaps, and it'll create a sitemap of all your pages and submit it to Google and all the search engines and do that for you automatically. Or if you don't have a WordPress-based website, you can go to the website gsitecrawler.com, and it'll generate a free sitemap for you as well, and then you can take that and submit it to the search engines.
And now the fourth tip, and this is actually one that's not talked about a lot, but it's to make sure that you have fast loading pages. So one thing that Google really likes is pages that load quickly. So what can kind of hinder and keep your pages from loading quickly is having big images or a lot of videos. And they really want the user, so when someone Googles a keyword and sites come up, they want the user to be able to click on that site and to have a good experience. And a user's not going to have as good of an experience if a site's taking a really long time to load. So just making sure that, taking a look at your site, going through and, when you click on your site, when it comes up in search engines, how long is it taking to load? Is it taking a long time? Or your image is not appearing? Is your video not appearing? The search engines just don't like that. They're going to get frustrated, and you could be penalized and not rank as well, and the users are going to get frustrated too.
So the fifth SEO basic that you need to focus on is having good internal links in your pages. Now this is one that a lot of people miss, because most people know that having external websites that link to your pages is good for SEO and will help with your rankings. But a lot of people don't know that having good internal links on your website can actually help your own rankings by telling the search engines what your pages are about. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people, when they create links from, say, one article on their website or one page on their website to another, will say, click here to learn about how to build birdhouses. And they'll make click here the link. From a search engine standpoint, that looks like they're saying the other page is about click here. That's not very useful. So instead, when you create your links, you should say something like, check out my article on how to build birdhouses, and make how to build birdhouses the link to your other page. That's going to do a much better job of telling the search engine what that other page on your website is about, and they're going to give you a lot of extra credit for that.
So now it's time to take action. Take a look at your website and make sure, just kind of review these things that we've discussed during this episode. So first, it's take a look at your page titles and your URLs and make sure that you're targeting the keywords that you want to rank for.
Next, check and see, do I have a sitemap? Do I have an easy way for the search engine to know every page that's on my website?
Make sure that your site has, and your pages have quick load times. So like we talked about, search engines don't like it when your images or your videos take a long time to load, and you can get penalized for that. So make sure that your load times are quick enough and you're not going to be penalized.
And finally, make sure that when you're linking to other pages on your website, that those links and the names of those links are relevant to the keywords that you want to rank on.
So that concludes this episode of Marketing in 5. We'll see you next time.